Afternoon all. Tim will kick it off, and then
Hi Tim.
if you want to put your hands up after that, and then we'll do a section for the Mondays right at the end if you wish. Tim, when you're ready.
Can we get your assessment, Chris, on the game as a whole and your side's performance, please?
I think you've got to play at the top of your ability to get anything from the games against Manchester City and Liverpool. And when we keep turning the ball over in the manner that we did, first half and second half, when we're in good positions, good players keep it away from you, or good players counter-attack on you. And that's what they did. It's simple as that. I thought it was a great opportunity for us. We broke the play up. Always, when you don't win games of football, people talk about team selection and talk about shapes and stuff like that. But when you can't pass it from A to B and you make really poor individual decisions with the ball and give it back to them, good players are going to keep it away from you. But I suppose that's the reason why they are really good players, why Kevin De Bruyne is an unbelievable player, why Kyle Walker's an unbelievable player, while Laporte and Diaz are unbelievable players, because they're unbelievable players and they come with a price tag and they come with a CV that gets them a game at Manchester City. And but I fancied us. I thought it was an opportunity of getting something from the game. We had to stay in the game at times, which I think everybody has to when they play against Manchester City. You have to take your opportunities when they come, because you're not going to dominate possession and you're not going to control a team that has the quality that you're up against. But my disappointment is that we didn't do enough with the football to really, put them on the back foot and try and affect the result.
You did have one big chance as well for John Lundstrom.
I thought there was. It wasn't really that. It was the other bits that were unopposed, where it was our time to play and it was our time to go forward and our time to create, where we just gave it away just really cheaply. Gave it away really cheaply, and I said at the top of the interview, Tim, they're going to keep it away from you. They're not going to give it away cheaply. They're going to keep it and they're going to move you about the pitch. And they moved us about the pitch, and I thought, even though I thought the shape of the team was good, and sometimes it's just not enough to be an aggressive, competitive, enthusiastic side. That as a goal, you've got to show a little bit more than that to survive in this division. And today we didn't show enough of that to hurt a fabulous team.
Cheers, Chris. Thanks.
Hi, Chris. I hear what you're saying about some of your disappointment there, but do you see bits of that performance that give you some encouragement? Because obviously there's no points to actually show from it, but City did look pleased to have the win at the end. They were running down time. They were clearly worried that they might concede.
Yeah, I mean, that's their prerogative to do that, and I don't want plaudits. We want points on the board, and I'm looking at it from my point of view, Rob. We in every game, press play. Because I'm saying exactly the same thing. We've been in every game, but to be in every game is not enough to start picking up points and gaining something from an effort and determination, which is obvious. So, that's from a motivational point of view, I should never ever, and I don't have to, hit them with that stick. But we have to be better with the ball. I think, if people think that we can go and open up to Manchester City, really, they really haven't got a clue about football, because you're opening up against world-class players that'll just pick you off, and it'll be 3-4 and 5-0, and then you're out the game. So we have to do certain things, and we have to stay compact, and we have to, they're arguably one of the top sides at pressing you in your defensive third. So we can't just think automatically we're going to roll it out from the back and play through them. There's all different ways to win a game of football. So we went down the road of how we wanted to, but when we get an opportunity to play and when we have an opportunity when it's our time on the ball, we've got to show so much more quality than what we did, because, as I said, we just keep turning it over, and as I said, they'll keep it away from you, or they score on the counter, which they did, and the obvious quality that they've got. Raheem Sterling was outstanding in his movement today, and it was a real tough test for George, and they counted on us, and obviously he came across the pitch, and Carl Walker's found a fabulous finish, and obviously then it's double difficult for you.
Thanks.
Anything, Megan?
Chris, you spoke about the good opportunities that you had, or the good positions that you got in. Is that just something what you talked about a couple of weeks ago, about the confidence in the players and just having the ability to back themselves in those positions rather than try and slow it down and come back again?
It's got to be nice. There's no other way. Listen, it's difficult, and people defending in how they want to play, but it's a moving game. We're not. This is how we're going to play, and it's always going to go wide. Players have got to recognise that if it goes wide and they've got bodies over, then there's got to be somewhere else that's open and an opportunity to go and expose. So that's just individual decisions. We play centrally. We work on stuff centrally as well as playing wide. We're not just this. Let's get it out wide, and other teams go, well, what we'll do is then we'll get bodies over. If there's bodies over, then there's another area that you can expose. And that's just individual decisions, what they take. Some of the decisions, as I said today, were, I didn't really get, and that was just it's got to be a belief and a confidence issue. We can all, I think you understand that it's a positive environment, our place. You don't do what you've done without it being so. We support the players, but it's a big boys league, and when you step out there, you've got to, you have got to show that individual quality in everything that you do that shows you why you're playing in this division, why you deserve to play in this division, and why you want to stay in this division. You've got to show that bit. I keep saying it's not a duck from me. Everybody has their own system, and if the system was flawed, then we wouldn't have opportunities to break the play up and go and attack the opposition. And if the system was flawed, then it would have been 3-4 and 5-0 at half time when you're playing the likes of Kevin De Bruyne and Sterling and Mahrez and Silva and all the players that they've got, Rodri, and every player that they've got. This is it. It's top end. It's top end Premier League football who you're up against. But it's got to be a connection between a touch of lack of belief and confidence that comes when you don't get the results that you get, that sort of affects your play and your individual decisions and individual quality.
With it being a mental side of thing, is it one of them things where you can work all day long in training about creating these openings, but with it being a mental side of thing, is there more got to be done maybe off the pitch in terms of how you talk to the players from any psychologist point of view, anything like that, just to try and get into their heads if that's the case?
Yeah, we've got sports psychologists. They'll have individual psychologists as well. So that psychologist, unfortunately, can't go out there and play the game for them. So it's got to come from within. I've got to say, I've never needed a sports psychologist. I'm not so sure that they didn't need one last year, did they? So, I don't understand where you're coming from, but, players, if they want to stay in this division and prove themselves as Premier League players, whatever help that they can get. Of course, we're here and we're a modern thinking football club. But what about it coming from within? What about it? That players showing that quality, because they've obviously got it, because they've done it. So what about them showing that and being brave, because it'll come around again. It'll come around again for players. They'll go through a poor period of results. So they have to really dig a little bit deeper and show that belief and confidence and produce performances and don't give the ball away when it's an easy 10-yard pass. So I suppose I understand the looking elsewhere, and I like to think that you might think that we do look at every aspect of it. And as my old favourite, there's always 4 parts of the game: tactical, technical, physical, and mental. And the mentality of football and any sport is obviously is quite big. But for me to be in this division and to survive, then you have to take the good periods in the stride, which we have done, and get through and work through the bad periods. And the only way you're going to do it is by repetition on the training ground, working through it, and doing whatever you can to get yourself right individually. And if we do that, then I'm sure we'll start producing better, more consistent performances, stroke results.
Obviously, I understand that no stone is unturned, obviously, in preparations. I'm just wondering, you've probably done all of that already in the weeks so far. So I'm just wondering, where do you go now? Is it just a case of sticking together and just getting through it and doing what we've already been doing?
100%. I keep saying to you, no wrecking ball to it. We've got these other players that we've got. We believe in them. We've brought some good players to the football club, and we've got to battle through it. And one result quickly turns. We were after a result today. We were after a result against Liverpool. Nothing's going to be handed to you. Nothing's going to be given to you. You are going to be punished if you make mistakes. And if we don't punish teams, then teams are going to get off lightly, because we're not punishing teams when we get into good positions and showing that quality. So you just have to work through it and stick together and listen to all the noise and nonsense that people will want to speak about you and pile through it. And the proof will be in the pudding. If we're good enough, then we'll get the results that we need and we're after. And if we're not, then you know what happens.
And just one more from me, Chris. Expecting another national lockdown, so the obvious questions will be around whether football continues. Do you think, having seen how successful it has been from a productive point of view, getting the games on, that football continues now? Or
I've got to say, Nath, I've not really thought about it. If I'm honest, I've just thought about going to work and trying to fake my team. So I've not got an answer. I'll maybe have a think about it this week and give you a reply on Thursday.
No bother. Thank you for that, Chris. All the best. Cheers.